Welcome to a Dread South original. I hope you're ready for a wild ride. Sit down, grab some popcorn, and get wet woohoo.
Girlfriend pointed an unloaded gun in my... We were visiting a good friend of mine when he moved out of state. He brought me to his bedroom closet to show me an AR-15 and handgun he purchased after moving. I handled both guns after checking they were unloaded, and I knew they were safe. My girlfriend walks into the room and he hands the AR-15 to her. She does not check it to affirm it is indeed clear, and the first thing she does is point it directly in my face. I slapped the barrel down and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" in an aggressive tone. She then handed my friend his rifle back and stormed out of the room. She didn't like the fact I aggressively chastised her for ignoring basic gun safety. She told me, "You didn't have to talk to me like I'm stupid," and didn't understand. My point wasn't to make her feel stupid, but that action is dangerous, especially since she was not in the room to witness it being checked for live ammunition, and she did not check the gun herself. Am I wrong for aggressively chastising her? Or should I have been nicer? AITA for explaining to my husband he's the reason we keep having... I 30F have 2 daughters and am currently pregnant with my 3rd girl. We just found out this morning. On the drive to my husband's mother's house, he explained how he was a bit disappointed about having a girl, but then he said I should have expected this because you have 3 sisters. I explained that me having 3 sisters have nothing to do with the gender of our child. He said it's genetics and that I'm the reason for our daughters. I told him that's not how biology works. He said it is. He then went on to explain that his mom only has brothers and his 2 oldest brothers both have 2 sons because his mom's side. I told that doesn't make any sense because it should be the same for him then. He said no, because both of their wives have more brothers than sisters. He was getting frustrated, but I was just laughing at him. I explained that him and his oldest 2 brothers have different dads, but out of his dad's 8 kids, 3 are boys and 5 are girls. The men determines the gender. He said that not true because the kids his dad had with his mom are all boys. He dropped it and said he'll ask his mom, who has a degree in biology. So we get to his parents' house for brunch, and he asks his mom if I'm the reason we kept having girls. She told him bluntly that the men determines the gender, and it's actually not a 50-50 chance. She then went on to explain that the more of one gender you have, the higher the chances that your next child is also going to be that gender. So he asked, is it likely that he'll have a boy? She told him that if he keeps trying, it might happen. He just walked to the car and said he's going for a drive. I received a text from him saying that I didn't have to embarrass him like that. I was so confused. AITA for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed. My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife and we did not want any distraction. My mom lost her shit. She said that he wanted family he might not see again for a while to be a part of the proposal. I said I did not give a shit and that if he did, that I would have him kicked out. He did it, and my mom said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. I just remember seething inside. My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. My mom was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and shut up. We spent most of the reception talking to family we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. My mom says I was an asshole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. I have the screen cap of the text message. AITA for telling my husband I told you so and laughing at me when we got the paternity test results. I, 27F, have been married my husband 28M for 2 years and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. I'll try to keep this short so I don't waste your time with any irrelevant details. What happened was that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes, while my husband and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this and refused to listen to my explanation that sometimes babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply. So I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, My husband went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space from me while I recovered, and he told them what was happening. My MIL called and informed me that if the paternity test revealed that the child wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was taken to the cleaners during the divorce. I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me and we started to read the results. They showed that he was the father, and my husband had this shocked, kind of mortified look on his face with his eyes wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but say, "I told you so," and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of his shock and got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued for a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me, before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head, and 2-3 hours later, my MIL called to scold me about laughing in my husband's face, because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She's also left a couple nasty texts, essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think I'm an AH, but I'd like outsider perspective on this. Edit, I didn't realize I put me instead of him. Sorry, I have a headache. Edit, since someone asked in the comments, but I can't find it anymore. I have zero history of cheating.